Hey, everybody. God, this one really sucks. This one, I'm not going to lie. This has me kind of up in my feelings. I've been researching this since it happened this morning. And more information has come out, and this is absolutely horrific. But I think that we need to talk about this because there's a lot of different aspects and facets of this whole thing. And one thing that I found particularly disturbing, I don't know if any of you guys have seen his video Manifesto or not yet. I have it, and we're going to be reviewing some of it, as much of it as we can watch here on YouTube without me losing this community and this channel, because there are certain rules around live streams and handling firearms. And this dude is blatantly handling firearms that have some messages that I feel like people need to see the messages that are written on these firearms, because it's very telling. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you some of the things that he has written on these firearms. This, for those of you who don't know, there was a school shooting in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I call Minneapolis Tampon Tim's yard. I don't like that feller too much. And I think they have a lot of really crazy laws there that sort of perpetuate mental illness. And it really sucks to see that this is happening. Levi, I'm sorry for talking shit about Minnesota. I just think that their laws are really terrible there, man. And I'm sorry that shit happened in your community. I remember when a school shooting happened, the first school shooting in Oregon, and this was like before the whole Columbine thing. It was the Thurston school shooting. I remember how badly it hurt our entire community here in the Eugene Springfield area. There's Eugene, Springfield, and then Thurston. And at Thurston High School, Kip Kinkle killed his parents, took their guns, went to school, and he did horrific things. He did a shooting. And I remember it wasn't just the people who were there. It was the whole community was fucking hurt after that. So it was a really horrific situation. I think mentally and spiritually and psychologically, it took our community a long time to get over. So my heart goes out to the people that are not just involved directly, but indirectly as well, because this is going to put a scar on their community, all because of this one sick, disgusting trans person. Justin, we are going to be getting into that Brandon Herrera was actually mentioned. For any pepperbacks, plops in here, Brandon Herrera is mentioned in this video Manifesto from this trans school shooter. He names Brandon Herrera in this. It's pretty crazy. I'm allowed to show you that part because he's not actually handling a firearm at that point. It's an 11-minute video that is one of the most disturbing things that I've ever seen. I feel like you could call it multiple personalities. You can call it demons. I know, as my mom would say, it's demons. This dude is speaking in different voices. You can't really tell what the hell he's saying through half of it. He is definitely out of his fucking tree, homie. Dude is not put together right. He's as my friend Sheriff Grady Judd would say, there's a hitch in his giddy up. His elevator doesn't go to the top floor. He's a few Skittles short of a whole bag. But for those of you who don't know what's going on with this, this dude went to a school in Minneapolis, a Catholic school, and he locked the exits. It actually in the manifesto shows the 2x4 that he used to blockade the doors closed with a little canister of gas that he had on it that he calls the Jew gas. His words, not mine. And he locks everybody in and then starts firing through the windows. He never stepped foot in this. Now, I'm calling him out of absolute and utter disrespect. The way he wishes to be referred to is as a female. He is transgendered. I'm going to name this dude once, and then I'm never going to say his maggot ass name again. His name was Robert Westman, and he legally changed it to Robin Westman because Robin is a girl's name, and had his pronouns be she, her. So clearly there's some levels to the mental illness going on here. Before we get into the video manifesto, I want to give you guys just an overview of exactly what's going on. And I think this video does pretty well with it. So we're going to run through this. I love you guys. I'm sorry that this is going to be kind of a heavy one today. I know you guys can probably tell that I'm not my usual jovial self. There's 7 kids in critical condition right now, and there's 2 that are dead. Those 7 kids may or may not make it, but we know that 2 didn't. I also want to point out that, we need a nickname for this dude because I'm not going to say his name again. We're going to call him Mask. Have you ever seen that old movie Mask with Cher? We might just call him Mask for right now. It's the dude who looks like Downsy as fuck and his face is super long. He's like, "Rrr." He looks like that dude. Like dead ass looks like that dude. Like you look at him and like if he walked into like when I was bartending, if this dude walked into my bar and ordered a drink, I would be like, okay, sir, that'll be $3.22. Because I would assume that he's mentally disabled. And clearly he proved that he is. So I'm gonna run this video real quick. This will give us an overview of what's going on. This is a pretty recent update from, I believe, the chief of police.
Earlier today, just before 8:30 a.m., our city experienced an unthinkable tragedy. Minneapolis police officers responded to a report of a shooting at a mass that was happening at the Annunciation Roman Catholic Church on the block behind me.
Now, yes, I saw somebody say this in the comments, and I think it's important to point out that, yes, this creature, this vile, disgusting fuck minion, his mom worked at this church school. I'm not sure if she worked at the church or the school, but there was a family association. And so we still don't know the motive. I don't know if anybody's read through his long ass manifesto. He leaves a video manifesto, but he shows a written manifesto in this thing. It's like addressed to his parents. I don't know if anybody's gotten the chance to go through that yet or not, but listen to this. This video manifesto, he had it uploaded to YouTube. And when you upload something to YouTube, right? When you upload something to YouTube, you can set it on a timer to release at a certain time. That's something on the back end of YouTube that I don't know if people who don't like upload content know or not. But he had this video manifesto, an 11-minute video manifesto uploaded and set on a timer to release after he knew the shooting was going to happen. And in this video manifesto, he shows the firearm that he said he's saving for himself. He saved a revolver for himself. So I believe that he planned on Epsteining himself at the end of this thing the entire time.
This worship service was marking the first week of school for children that are attending the Annunciation Catholic School. During the Mass, a gunman approached on the outside, on the side of the building, and began firing a rifle through the church windows towards the children sitting in the pews at the Mass.
Now, I think it's important. I don't know if he mentions this later or not, but part of this is that he actually blockaded them in. He blockaded them in so no one could get out and started firing with some pretty gnarly rifles in at them. His arsenal is fairly astounding, man. Like legitimately, his arsenal is fairly astounding. And I can't show you guys the arsenal because of YouTube's policies around firearms on YouTube lives. And they do that. I understand why they do that, right? Because if you're playing with a firearm on a live, they don't know if you're going to Epstein yourself in front of people and scar people for life or not, or maybe perpetrate a horrific act while live streaming. So they'll shut your shit down if there's alive and there's firearms on it. But he's definitely handling these things because he wants us to see what he's written all over him. One of the main things that he wrote was fuck Trump. He wrote fuck Trump on one of his firearms. He also wrote kill pedos on one of his firearms, which is an odd flex for somebody who's meticulously planning out going to kill babies. It's fucking weird, man. It's fucking weird. The Enigma said, maybe I don't get it because I'm Dutch, but why the F do these sickos choose schools to hit? Be a big boy and try hitting a gun range. And I agree with you 1000%. I've always been of the notion that, bro, there's like a whole sex offender registry list. This dude had fuck pedos written on one of his guns. So clearly he hated pedos, but chose to harm children instead. Why not go after, you could use well, I don't even know if Minnesota is so weird. I don't even know if they have a registry in Minnesota, to be quite honest with you. That's Tampon Tim's backyard. And I have very little faith in his leadership to help keep children safe.
Shooting through the windows, he struck children and worshipers that were inside the building. The shooter was armed with a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. This was a deliberate act of violence against innocent children and other people worshiping. The sheer cruelty and cowardice of firing into a church for children is absolutely incomprehensible. Police officers from the Minneapolis Police Department immediately responded, entered the church, and attempted to provide first aid and rescue some of the children that were hiding throughout the building, while other first responders came and EMS responded to rush victims to nearby hospitals.
So Polymorph came up with a really good point here. One of his firearms did say kill pedos, and he did end up Epsteining himself. Maybe he was a self-hating pederast. You know? I just want to say for these families, for these kids, I'm going to be showing you another video of actually one of the kids who survived this situation and was unharmed. This shit fucks me up, and I'm sorry. I hate anything to do with kids being harmed. So I'm sorry if I'm not on as much as I could be, but like this shit rocks me, bro.
2 young children, ages 8 and 10, were killed where they sat in the pews. Their parents have been notified. 17 other people were injured, 14 of them being children. 2 of those children are in critical condition. The coward who fired these shots ultimately took his own life in the rear of the church. Our hearts are broken for the families.
So that's the rundown on what's gone on here, directly from the chief of police. Spades, it's good to see you, man. I'm sorry it's not under better circumstances. I love you, homie. How is everyone? Hope everyone is safe. Love you all. U.S. needs to stick together in these events. I am armed and dangerous. Love you, JD and Jackson. We love that you're armed and dangerous. I feel like anyone that you are around because of who you are and that you are armed is safer because of it. And I love you, bro. Michael LaRoche, thank you so much for that support. Big love and respect to you, big dog. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I finally figured out how to put the supers on screen. And I'd like to thank my buddy, Valhalla VFT, or as I know him, Nate. We've been friends for about 20 years. We did a live last night together, and he put me up on game on that because I'm kind of old as dirt, and I didn't even know about that yet. So that was really cool of him to show me. That's just generally what happened. Now I would like to really quickly see if we can pull this up. Give me just half a second here. as I try to find this, because I would really like for you guys to see this too. Here we go. Here we go.
Like gunpowder on my neck. I was like 2 seats away from the stained glass windows. So they were like, the shots were like right next to me.
When you heard the shots, what went through your head?
I was like, the first one, I was like, what is that? I thought it was just something. Then when I heard it again, I just ran under the pew. And then I covered my head. My friend Victor like saved me though, because he laid on top of me.
This is not something any child should have to live through. This is not these kids, none of these kids are ever going to be the same after this. None of these kids are ever going to be the same. And this coward could have gone and chosen a hard target. Clearly, he thinks he's something. He could have gone and chosen a hard target. He chose to go after children. And he should not be remembered. But if he is remembered, it should be as a coward, as a bitch, as a predator piece of shit. There should be no respect ever.
But he got hit.
Your friend laid on top of you?
Yeah, and he got hit.
Is this something that you've practiced before?
Yeah, we practice it like every month, or I don't know.
It's insane to me that our kids have to practice what they're going to do in the eventuality that something like this happens at their schools. That is insane that this is like a monthly thing for kids in this country. I don't, it's just absolutely nuts. Count CRISPR said, is it mental illness, transitioning meds, or both? Well, here's the thing. I'm going to talk about this. And some people might say that I'm transphobic for this. I don't fucking care, homie. Here's the thing, is that there are people out there that clearly have mental illness, and some of them may feel like they were born in the wrong body. You know, I think there's people that might genuinely be trans, and I have zero fucking issue with them. But I think there are also a lot of people that are mentally ill that want to hide behind that. I think there are pedophiles that are mentally ill, and they try to hide behind being trans, because being trans has been such a canonized issue that, like, at this point, if you speak out against anything, if you say anything against them, you're labeled transphobic, you're labeled a bigot, you're labeled hateful. And so it's become like an invincibility shield for people in this country, that if you're trans, you could get away with fucking pretty much anything. Look at Nick Cantino, Lily Tino, walking around Disney, around children, little kids, talking about having his genitals mutilated in front of children, jumping into every bathroom that he can find and laughing about how he goes into women's bathrooms and stands up to pee around little kids at Disney. So here's the thing, though, is if somebody is mentally ill and then you flood their body and their brain with the wrong hormones, that is going to have a serious effect on them. Get mad all you want, homie. I don't give a fuck. The same people who get mad at me for saying this will look at people like Wes Watson and go, oh, that dude's clearly in a fucking roid rage. Well, what do you think they give women that want to become men? They give them testosterone. They give them large amounts of testosterone. That's the base steroid for men to take. And what do you think that they give men who want to become women? Estrogen. Men are not built to be able to handle those amounts of estrogen. Mentally, biologically, psychologically, men are not geared and made to be able to handle large amounts of estrogen being flooded into them. Like, there are people that are legitimately trans, and I'm not disrespecting them, but the way that people are just being mass prescribed the fucking opposing hormones that their body is wired to have creates fucking issues, my guy. It creates fucking issues, and we can call it out when somebody's doing it because they're a bodybuilder and they do some wild shit and we call it roid rage. Well, trans rage is a fucking thing too, homie. Cancel my ass. I don't give a fuck. Suck my whole entire grundle. You guys know what a grundle is? It's the skin between your balls and your asshole. It's a real hard thing to suck, but I'm sure somebody can figure it out when they try to cancel me for speaking the fucking truth, bro. I'm not being hateful. I'm talking about biological realities here. If you take a shitload of estrogen and you put it in me, I'm going to start crying at tampon commercials. I'm going to be completely unhinged. I'm going to think everything is everybody else's fault. I'm going to be a perpetual victim because I'm being flooded with too much of a female hormone and my body and my mind just can't fucking take it. Dee, that is a taint as well. There's just a few names for it. The gooch, the grundle, the taint. It's all the same thing. It's such a fun part of the body that we need a few different names for it, apparently. Let's hear more from this young man. Actually, give me 1 second. Dominar said, we bereaved are not alone. We belong to the largest company in the world, the company of those who have known suffering. Helen Keller. Always with the amazing quotes, man. I love you so much. Terry, thank you so much for that support. Yo, we got Mob Stopper, a day one up in here. Gotta head to work. I'll be listening on the way. Have a great day at work. We love you, bro. Count Crisper said, is it mental illness, transitioning meds, or both? Yeah, we just discussed that. Zane Norton said, I'm new here, but this guy would be a candidate for the wood chipper. P.S. Loving your content so far. If he wasn't such a cowardly piece of shit that he ended his own life, 1000% wood chipper. I cannot for the life of me figure out why we ever take a mass shooter in alive. Why do we ever take a mass shooter in alive? If I was a cop responding to a mass shooting, I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm really not. But that dude is not coming back alive. That dude is not making it back to the fucking station, homie. That dude's not going to see cuffs. That dude is going to somewhere real hot, real fast. I'm ending that shit right then and there. I'm going to save the taxpayers' money. I'm going to save the victims and the victim's family the trauma of having to watch him go through court and have a proper legal defense. I'm going to put him down like the piece of shit animal that he is. Tony Smiley said, did she seriously word it? What went through your head? Did she seriously word what went through my head? I have no idea what you're talking about, Bubba. Jason said, completely agree. I was called transphobic for pointing out pattern recognition. The last 6 or 7 shootings have been trans identifying people. Here's the thing, bro, is that like people can call it whatever they want. I'm not retarded, bro. I'm not stupid. I'm not dumb. I'm not the smartest dude in the world, but when there is a pattern of prevalent things happening, I'm going to be able to see it and I'm going to say it. And if you want to cancel me for it, that's fine. That's absolutely, because you know who's not going to stop fucking with me for pointing out things that are true and obvious and reality? The people that are real, the people that I want to fuck with, the people who actually have some common sense are going to go, I'm not going to stop fucking with that dude. That dude's actually based. Like, he's pointing out things that actually matter. And there's huge pressures in society not to say these things. And that dude doesn't back down. I'm not going to back down to pressure and cave. Bitch, I'm from prison, dog. I'm from the streets. You're not going to scare me by telling me you're going to, oh, what are you going to do? I pay my phone bill, bitch. I can still upload videos. You ain't going to stop me. And the real ones are not going to stop watching me. Chasing My Recovery said, I'm at work, but had to pop in and say hi. I've been crying all morning after seeing this whole thing, getting ready for work. Much love and prayers to all those little angels. It is absolutely tragic. And I hope you have an okay day at work. Try to get your mind off it. Be present in work. There's time to mourn later. I love you.
But yeah, we've never practiced it in the church though. Mm-hmm. Only in school. Mm. So it was way different.
What do you want to say to your friend who helped protect you?
He's really brave, and I hope he's good in the hospital.
And what do you want to say to everyone that had to go to the hospital?
I hope you're okay, and I'm praying for you. I think I got
Fucking holy shit, man. God bless that kid and everyone who was involved on that end. That is so horrific. I wanted to show you guys this stuff first because I wanted you to see these are real life people. And this is really like, that's a little kid, man, whose life's never going to be the same after this. Terry Strife, man, thank you so much for that super huge love and respect. I appreciate that support. Tony Smiley said the woman said interviewing the kid. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have no fucking clue what they're going through, bro. I want to give a serious warning before we play this. Because this is seriously disturbing. What we're about to watch is seriously disturbing, you guys. But I think that it's important that we look at the disturbing things. I think it's important, like we said, not backing down. It's important that we see just how sick and disgusting this creature was, and that we look at this and we see this nonsense and that we call it out publicly. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. So we're going to watch this right now. This is the shooter's video manifesto that he had loaded up and ready to auto release onto YouTube under the channel name Robin W. And he had it set to upload and release after this shooting occurred. So he knew he was going to do this. He knew he wasn't going to make it out alive, and he wanted this to release so that, he really didn't even, I'm just going to play this. Beware, it's disturbing. Sabrina, thank you so much, sis. I love you. I appreciate that support. That's literally how that starts out. This is literally the way he started his manifesto. He sounds like Tony Gonzalez when he wipes. He's moaning. Did you guys know that Tony Gonzalez moans when he wipes his ass? Yeah. Brandon Herrera.
Here's my note to my family and shit. Wow, some English writing. Wow. Hope you can read that. Yeah. Peace, love, unity, and guns.
Peace, love, unity, and guns. So here's the thing. I want you guys to try to analyze this. What do you guys think this is? Do you guys think that this is mental illness? Do you guys think this is demons? Do you guys think this is MK Ultra? What do you guys think that this is? Because you guys are going to see this is really fucked up. This is really fucked up.
Baka, my brata. Baka. Nine millimeter. Get fucked.
Is he drinking a Bud Light, bro? Is that a Bud Light that he's drinking? Is he on that? I think he's on that Bud Light. Thank you, Doomslayer. I appreciate you. Doomslayer said, government designed trade to strip us of our rights. MK Ultra and Op Fast and Furious. Shout out to JD and fuck Chance Wilkins. I don't know who Chance Wilkins is. Look, here's the thing. If you wanted to disarm a populace, I'm not saying I almost said the Mulvaney juice. I really almost said the Mulvaney juice. I'm not saying that this is what's happening, but if you wanted to disarm a populace, the best way is to make them feel like they're most vulnerable or threatened. And, doing mind control and, having people wig out and do stuff like this gives the government an excuse. Troy Justice, love your videos, bro. Love your message. Love your honesty. You always keep it 100%, and I appreciate that. Do you think the left will make this about gun control? They do every single time, bro. They do every single time. But let me just tell you, this happened in a very, very blue state, and this dude had "fuck Trump" written on one of the guns that he used. So now, unfortunately, he also says Brandon Herrera for president. For all the plops and pepperbacks out there, you know it's a bad fucking day. That's Tony Gonzalez, Brandon Herrera's running for Congress out of Texas. Tony Gonzalez is probably going to try to make that into something that it's absolutely not. It's absolutely not. But this dude is a gun nut, but he's a leftist and probably a fucking demon. Lost Grease Monkey. There's a reason why they call it gender dysphoria before the trans community cried enough. Well, that's actually what it was in the DSM-5 for. When it was an actual diagnosis, it was in the DSM-5, which is, where it's a list of mental health diagnoses as gender dysphoria. Dank boards, gender dysphoria is listed in the DSM-5. I didn't even see that, dog. I hadn't read your shit yet. As a mental illness, it's clinically observed at this point, but they took it out, dog. I don't know if they put it back in, but they took it out of the DSM-5 for a while. Metal Mania, bring back mental asylums. We're working on it, homie. And I honestly am an advocate for it, to be honest with you. Cole Vichel, Flark, I wanted to say something to support kids, but also to insult the school shooter. But Flark, a petition to use Flark in regular rotation as a way to support children and insult predators. Approved? Thank you. Joe Christmas, what's up, fam? Good to catch you live. This is devastating, brother. I pray I'll always be able to protect my kids from this evil shit. Always riding with you, my dude. Stay safe. Much love to you and Jax. Joe Christmas, love you, brother. It takes a tribe to keep these kids safe, and we all need to work together. Luckily, we have a big-ass wood chipper tribe here, homeboy. The Enigma, here in the Netherlands, we have a saying. There are more sick in the brain people walking around free than locked up. Sadly, this is an example. Absolutely, facts. I'm sorry that it's like that there too, man. Dominar said, for everyone, death leaves a heartache on no one can heal. Love leaves a memory no one can steal. From the headstone in Ireland. That is beautiful, man. Thank you for some kind, inspiring words while we're going through this today. Michael Newman said, this is what happens when pedos aren't fucking taken care of. People flip out. Society's done with. Fuck Trump. Epstein files are important. Prayers for all. Robert Griffith, thank you so much for your love and support. TNS Racing, what do you think the punishment for crime? What do you think the punishment for crimes against kids? I'm not sure exactly what you were going for. What do I think it should be? I think it should be the fucking wood chipper. I think it should be the wood chipper, whether you're just physically abusing them, sexually abusing them, certain forms of mental abuse, bro. I think the fucking wood chipper is proficient. It gets the job done. It's a multi-use motherfucking tool, my G. You know what I'm saying? I hate the way he drinks. That slurp action is absolutely disgusting.
This message brought to you by BlackRock and ExxonMobil. Sponsored by Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Sponsored by Pabst, but I'm pretty sure he was drinking that Dylan Mulvaney juice, bro. Pretty sure he was drinking a Bud Light, but it's sponsored by... Leave Pabst out of it. I don't even drink anymore, but I still got love for the Blue Ribbon, bro. That shit got me drunk for cheap for many years and always gave me the dribbly shits. Much like Taco Bell, Pabst Blue Ribbon is the Taco Bell of beers, in my opinion. Yeah, anybody in the chat, let me know. Anybody in the chat ever had the Pabst shits, bro? Real life question. Don't be embarrassed. Anybody in the chat ever had the Pabst shits? because it's a real life thing.
Brandon Herrera for president.
This is not what Brandon needs right now. This is not what Brandon needs right. He just said Brandon Herrera for president.
Yeah, I met Brandon Herrera at SHOT Show last year. He and I had a brief conversation, but like we agreed on a lot of things. So y'all should vote for Brandon Herrera for president.
He's not running for president, you fucking disgusting piece of shit. He's running for the 23rd congressional seat in the state of Texas. Do you know how much simpler it would have been if this dude would have just taken himself off the planet instead of going and taking kids off the planet and then taking himself off the planet? He could have saved so many steps and it would have been so much better. So a lot of people have said they have had the pap shits. Somebody mentioned the Jaeger shits. Holy throwback to high school, man. That German cough syrup definitely got it done sometimes, though.
And Vintage Warfare promotes love and peace and accepting different.
Rippity said, quit fingering the bullets, you stupid little bastard. I love you, dog. Well played. Trev said, is this the dude that did the shooting today? Yes, Trev. This is his video manifesto that he had set to release on YouTube after he knew the shooting would already be done. Zane Nation said, praise to those who have walked through sickness, especially sickness and escaped its grasp. For when you look back and realize how many fell before you they could make and how many succumb to its awful influence that leads them to damnation. I am a huge fan of the people who have been through hell and came out the other side with big hearts to help people, man. I appreciate what you just said. Love you, Zane.
Tomorrow, I'm sorry to my family. But that's it. That's the only people I'm sorry to. Fuck those kids.
Fuck those kids. He's sorry to his family, but fuck those kids. This dude is planning to go out and murder as many children as possible, and his message to them is fuck those kids. Alex, what'll happen to him in prison, wallering? Well, we'll never know because this coward took his own life before anybody else was able to take it for him. Aaron Gordon, Guinness shits are king. Yeah, sometimes I do miss the taste of a Guinness, and they make an NA now that has 0 alcohol in it. Every once in a while, I'll get one with a nice steak. The NA ones don't give me the Guinness shits, though. So, yeah, so far this dude has shouted out Brandon Herrera for president. He said, fuck those kids. This is a very disturbing video manifesto, you guys.
Skibbity, skibbity. Shit. I regret everything. I didn't ask for life.
So he didn't ask for life. His estrogen is just bubbling up inside of him. And he's decided he's going to take his gay little pink vape and he's going to go kill kids. Alex said if he had gone to prison, wallering. So school shooters do not do well in prison. I could tell you any of the worst shit you could think of, they're going to do that to school shooters. They fucking hate people that hurt kids. And yes, Chili Soviet TV, he wanders around saying skibbity a lot throughout this video, some of which I can't show you. I can only show you about half of this video because he starts finger fucking his guns. John Wolf, let's not forget 3 adults, seniors in their 80s. Yeah, absolutely. Not just the child victims. I don't know Brandon Herrera personally, but no way he is a fan of this kid. Well, Laura, I'm actually, after we're done with this video, I'm going to show you Brandon Herrera's response because I do know Brandon Herrera. He's a close personal friend of mine, and I'm going to show you his response after we're done with this video. Backwoods Templar said he is only saying Brandon's name to sabotage his run, and I do believe that you are correct. Magra said people who would target kids like this are evil. Facts. Pure fucking evil. Paulie Matthew Cat said, looking forward to the he was on our radar statements from the usual suspects who definitely didn't provide items.
You didn't
Facts.
ask for death. Make my own fucking stars.
The fuck is he talking about, bro?
Yeah. Watch my 9mm go.
That is actually the 2x4 that he used to blockade the doors. And he's written and drawn on all of the items that he used in this disgusting, cowardly attack. Just so you guys know, he's got that, you know, the troll face that says "eat it." He actually has a gas bomb thing canister on that attached to it. That later in the video, and I don't get to show you that. I think it's after he's finger fucking his guns like a little weirdo. But he actually he calls it his Jew gas. His words, not mine. None of your business. Cowards off themselves afterwards. JDs are bunkies now. JDs are bunkies now. Not sure what that means. Honest review. Where is Trans Tifa's outrage on this? They won't get outraged. They'll get outraged at people that misgender this piece of shit. That's what they'll be outraged about. You guys are misgendering it. You guys are misgendering it. That's what they'll be outraged about. And I couldn't give any less of a fuck. Actual good trans people will be like, yeah, don't respect anything about that piece of shit. Alex said if it removed itself because it was afraid of Big Country's thing in its hole, would chipper its remains. I absolutely think that we should desecrate his remains. We should absolutely desecrate his remains. Wilbertson said, is that a troll face? It's a joke to this sicko. Well, he said, fuck those kids and then laughed. Yeah, it's 100. This is 100% a joke to this dude. Like it gets worse. Hold on.
Bang.
Jesus's face on a target. Here's the arsenal. He's laughing through all of this. And gasping for breath. Fucking weirdo. Pain and hate. A bunch of shit written in German, I believe. Is that German, you guys?
Why so curious?
He wrote, why so curious? On that mag, and fuck you, eat shit, F slur. You guys, it was that German? Russian. Okay, Russian. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Russian. Okay. Yeah. So you see what he wrote on that. So he's trans, but he wrote, fuck you, eat shit, F slur on there. How did he get so much ammo? Nobody knows. He's 23 years old. I'm not sure. Now, I just saw a comment that I was going to save to talk towards the end about this, but let's get into this right now. Should there be a trans weapon boycott? If you can't buy or own weapons, you know how, remember when Hunter Biden had that whole situation where he was facing a weapons charge because he filled out an ATF form to buy a gun saying that he didn't use drugs, but he was using mind and mood altering drugs? Well, flooding your body with estrogen is a mind and mood altering drug. Medical marijuana patients, as Trev just pointed out, can't currently have their Second Amendment rights? Should people who are flooding their bodies with hormones that can make them mentally unstable, should they have Second Amendment rights? I want to know in the comments right now. Should people who are flooding their brains with hormones that can make them completely unstable have Second Amendment rights? If people who are on medical marijuana or pain management can't. I see one yes. I see one yes, and everyone else is no, fuck no, absolutely not. I mean, it is absolutely mind and mood altering. I would contend that it's on par with what flooding. If I was to flood my body with male hormones like testosterone and, you know, things like Tren and Wes Watson out, I'm a fucking danger, dog. I'm a fucking danger. You know, if people can't be trusted with medical marijuana to have guns, I would say that, you know, crazy amounts of estrogen or testosterone make you far more unstable than medical marijuana. The vast majority of the people are saying absolutely not.
Where's your fucking God now?
So this dude clearly he had Jesus's face on a target. He wrote, "Where's your fucking God now?" on one of these magazines. We actually have a woman who said, "I'm a woman and I don't even want the hormones I have now." And that is a really good fucking point. You know what I'm saying? There are times when women have hormonal issues that are natural. And, you know, when they have natural hormonal issues, it makes them unstable to a certain extent. But imagine that in a man times 100, bro. Times 100. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just crazy. I know that when you're on TRT, you are monitored and have to get blood tests every other month, pretty much. You have to be monitored. And that's, as a man, just to keep normal testosterone levels once your testosterone levels start to sink. So when you're younger, your testosterone levels are supposed to be normal. But once you reach a certain age, they start to peter out. So they just keep you normal and they monitor you to make sure that you're on normal levels. So, you know, should people that are flooded with hormones be trusted with Second Amendment rights?
Shit.
Suck on this. I don't know what he has written there. Psycho killer Skibbity.
Skibbity Riz.
Fuck, this dude's retarded, bro. Skibbity Riz. He's going to use that to go kill kids. And he's talking like he's 8 years old, bro. What the fuck? Fuck everything that you stand for. Scum gang.
Scum gang.
For the children. I want you guys to read that. What does he have written there? For the children on a mag that he used to go and shoot children at a church school. 2 kids are dead. 7 are actually in critical care right now. There are, I believe they said 7 adults, most of which are elderly, that are in critical care right now. Josh, I don't disagree with you about the demon aspect of this, but I think that there's also other factors. I think there's neurological, biological factors. I think that there's medical factors. I think there's mental health factors. And I think that when you have some of those, you can open yourself up to some really dark shit. Kick a... I almost said a slur. The big one. Have fun. He's enjoying this.
Fucking rip and tear.
Rip and tear. Killer sadist. This is some of the wildest shit
Don't
I've
take
ever
it to
seen.
live, laugh, and love.
He has live, laugh, love written on the bottom of his mags for his handguns. That's absolutely crazy. That's absolutely nuts. The Watchman said it's Cyrillic, but it read like English. Clinically tardy edgelord behavior. None of your business said means couldn't be with the boys in the cell. Sicko. The Enigma said, yes, but how about steroids? Well, here's the thing. We already have laws that if you're using illegal substances like that it's illegal for you to go in and you have to sign an ATF form, just like Hunter Biden did, declaring that you're not on any of that shit. And that's why Hunter Biden had those charges, because they were able to read his book and go, oh, during this period of time, when he went and bought that gun and signed that ATF form saying he's not on any illegal substances, that dude was smoking crack on the daily, and he talked about it, confessed it in his book, and that's where those charges stemmed from. So if somebody like, say, Wes Watson was, pumping a bunch of Tren, brother, and just gouging himself out with D-ball and Tren and Test, and he went to go buy a gun, which he doesn't have gun rights because he's a felon, but say he did that and he signed that ATF form, and they found out, he would be facing federal charges. And his daddy isn't the president, so he would not get a pardon. Like Hunter Biden slid on that shit. He slid because he got the pardon on that shit. The Enigma meant not allowed to have. Facts. Cheryl said, my heart broke watching that today. Same, sis. Luke said, I had to keep my guns at my parents' house while my wife was pregnant. Because when women are pregnant, and this isn't demeaning to women or anything, but just part of the natural process when you're a woman and you're pregnant is that your body is flooded with hormones. You can be a yeet risk. You could be a risk of, hurting yourself or others. Infantry, hire us vets to protect kids. I'll do it for free. And this, I think, would be a fucking game changer. Armed veterans in our schools would be a fucking game changer. And I don't know why we haven't done this yet. And thank you for your service and your sacrifice, brother. Bo Jules, if you are mentally unstable, you are a prohibited person according to federal law. Trans are technically unstable by definition. That is a really good point. So, like, if you've been 5150'd, you know how I have 5150 tattooed across my stomach here? What that is it's a mental health hold because you're a danger to yourself or others. Now, they took gender dysphoria out of the DSM-5, so I don't know technically if what you're saying is true because they took it out as a mental illness because they wanted to destigmatize it. But I agree with you that it should be. Gene Walker, thank you for the support. Joseph, what's up, man? He wrote, I am a terrorist in Russian. Dude, thank you for translating. Joseph, thank you, sir. I appreciate you translating because I was wondering what the fuck that said. Unrested Tank. Rip and tear was on the back of that last rifle mag. Jay said, JD, first, some of your words have helped keep me here. I thank you. This needs to be addressed. They are already fragile in mind and can easily be manipulated by anyone or anything. Love from the PDX. What's up, homie? My neighbor to the north. Love you, bro. Jason Duckworth said, imagine if this psycho was actually trained with these weapons. He did enough damage without being trained, to be perfectly frank with you, man. It could have been so much worse. Dominar said, to those who lost someone, when someone you love becomes a memory becomes a treasure. Unknown author. I love that. And thank you for bringing us something touching during this. Dank Board said, is it still in the DSM-5? They just gave different criteria. It's still in the DSM-5. They just gave different criteria for children, adolescents, and adults. Thank you for educating me on that. I appreciate you. And Goblins Green said, all of this smells of government conspiracy, and I hope this psycho was just crazy and not doing this over politics. Facts. There's a lot of stuff that's conspiracy until it's proven that it's not. Until it's proven that it's not. And I'm not saying that's what this is. There could be a lot of stuff going on here. But I'm just saying this type of thing really fucking stinks, bro. Alan said, this monster is absolutely insane. All of those memes make me think they got strapped down to a chair and forced to watch brain rot. Dude was 100% demonically possessed. Love you, bro. And I would agree that there has to be a demonic element to that, because that is so crazy, dude. So absolutely crazy. Colin said, thank you for what you do, JD. We need good men like you in this world. We have too many metro femme males in the world today. Love you, Colin. I appreciate that so much, bro. Original owner said, what we need is the Boondock Saints for anti-PDF and to protect the kids from other dangers. I loved that movie, bro. That was my favorite movie for so long. I've watched that so many times. Doomslayer said, Chance Wilkins is a YouTube diaper sniffer. Ew! Kill it with fire! Kill it with fire! So look, I want to find this real quick. I want to show you guys Brandon Herrera's response to this really quickly, because I think it's really important that we have that after seeing that piece of shit say my friend's name. I know that it made me see red to see him say my friend's name. And I know that Brandon probably feels 1,000 times more pissed off by that. Brandon isn't with any of this fuck shit, I can guarantee you. So I want to show you guys what his response to this was. And of course, I'm having trouble finding it. So let me just read it to you guys real quick, because I have it right here. So Brandon Herrera took to X to respond to this situation almost immediately after it got released. Brandon said, I will not, nor will I ever say the name of this gutless coward who decided to take the lives of innocent people in Minneapolis today. My heart goes out to the family of those affected, but to the shooter, I have one thing to say in response. Fuck you and burn in hell. So Brandon Herrera's statement to this gutless coward is fuck you and burn in hell, which I think is thoroughly warranted. Do you guys agree? Justin Wheeler said, probably targeted at the Catholic Church because the church is anti-trans. That's actually a really good point. That's a really good point. Green Goblin or Goblins Green said, I'm not even kidding. As soon as you read my comment, I got an unknown phone call with the weird static noises. Damn, dog. Damn. That's crazy. Well, you guys, I thank you guys for riding out with me today on this. I know that was really disturbing. I wish that we had something to leave on a high note with, but this is just one of those things that it's going to take a while for the community, for the families, for us as a nation to be able to process and to be able to heal from. I wanted you guys to see that fucking disgusting manifesto video. I wish that I could show you the whole thing, because some of the stuff that he wrote on those guns, including fuck Trump, kill pedos, a lot of it was even further disturbing. And at one point, he was doing a, how many people here have seen The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit? You know, Gollum and Schmeagol? He was petting one of his rifles and going, my precious, my precious. So it was super disturbing, and I'm sorry that I can't show you the whole thing, but YouTube has rules, especially with live streams. And as much as I hate it, I do understand why they have that rule, because somebody could pick up a gun and they could do something horrific. Twisted Loki K or Twisted Logic said his doctors should be held accountable. They gave him hormones. They supported this. That is actually, I want to discuss that for a second. Do you guys think that the doctors who were providing him with the hormones that put him in a situation where he committed this should be held responsible? Let me know in the comments. I want to see what you guys think. Do you guys think that that doctor should be held responsible? His manifesto didn't make any sense. You're 100% right. So we've got a little bit of a mix, but most people are saying that the doctor should absolutely be held responsible. Well, you guys, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out with us today. I hope that you leave this whole situation more educated on what happened today. And I just ask you to send love and prayers out to the families in the community that's been affected. Until the next one, I love each and every one of you. And until then, be good or be good at it, baby.